Today, we will do the correction first, and then we'll proceed with the rest of the class. I just need to remind everyone with the homework. Your family recently celebrated a special occasion. You helped to organize the celebration. Write an email to a friend about it. Okay, in your email you should say what your family was celebrating, explain how you helped to organize the celebration. 3, describe what happened at the celebration. Okay, طيب. Let us see your work here. And Muhammad Hazem, the first one, Muhammad Hazem. Okay, ready? Muhammad started with, Dear Yusuf, I'm sorry I haven't written since we last met. Muhammad used a semicolon here, which is fine. Even ya Muhammad, if you're gonna use a dash, that would be great as well. Both of them are closely related. I'm sorry I haven't written since we last met. I was busy trying to get fit. Anyway, you won't believe what happened last weekend. A good introduction for me. Okay, let me change color so people know exactly what we are doing. As you know, my aunt has 3 daughters, and she always dreams of getting a boy. After a long wait, my aunt gave a birth to a baby boy. He said a boy. If you wrote a baby boy, that would be better. And then another semicolon. I was overwhelmed with ecstasy and joy. And even if you added like what, a full stop, that would be fine too. Okay, but that's fine. I was overwhelmed with ecstasy and joy. Muhammad Hazem used an idiom here, like being happy, which is really good, ya Muhammad. Because I would like to consider him as a second brother. So you need to write a second brother of mine. You know my family, and then you wrote a comma, which is bad. You know my family. This, ya Muhammad, is a complete sentence. Okay, ya Rahaf, this is a complete sentence. Then they like making things more special, or they like to make things. Yani for me, they like to make things. That would be even better. More special. So they celebrated this day in order to keep a memory of it. I mean, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Do you remember your brother's party when I cooked the food? That's personalizing, okay? That's personalizing, which is good, ya Muhammad. Personalizing, which is good. Sarah, you have just joined, and Adham as well. طيب. Do you remember your brother's party when I cooked the food and nobody ate it? It was disgusting, kind of. You wrote kind of, and I prefer it to be here. Like, it was kind of disgusting. That would be better. My role, again, was cooking food. You can say my role was cooking food. Believe it or not, it was finger licking, a good expression food, and I was appreciated for my delicious food taste. That was a really good paragraph with creating interest and personalizing. Just like you, I had luck. I had what? I had bad luck most of the time, and things never run right. Go right, that even better. When you write burst, ya Muhammad, it's burst as a past. You cannot say bursted, okay? They burst out laughing at me, and it ended by posting my funny pictures on Instagram. Okay, you don't have to write them. Apart from this, it was good. Muhammad, you can write more, by the way. You can write more. I will never say that you haven't covered the 3 points, but you need to write more. Yara, you went for this. Dear Emily, it was great to get an email from you, but I couldn't write sooner because I was too busy this weekend. Yara, I have got no problem with your introduction. I thought I'd drop you a line about celebrating with my parents. I have no problem with that, okay? As you know, my parents, of course, have been busy recently. So, Yara, you understand, like all fanboys are preceded by a comma. So before so, you need to add a comma. So my brother here. So my brother and I decided to surprise our parents for their wedding anniversary. Instead of wedding day, you can say wedding anniversary. It seems to be exhausting, but you added a comma here, which is perfect, but trust me, it was pretty fun. I listed some dishes that my parents love and my brother searched for decoration to display. You don't have to say it. And if you're gonna write it, you're gonna write them because it refers to decorations. But even the pronoun, we don't need it here. Ya Yara, you understand my point. In the living room. Later on, I texted my friends for the recipes. This is how I write recipes. Here there was spelling, ya binti. Make sure that you write the correct word. Other than that, you can go for another word. It went well here when my parents said they are on their way home, okay, or back home. Then here you wrote, I ran like the wind, which is fine. Too light, not too lit. Too light, ya Yara, not too lit. Lit is a past of light. So we can say light, lit, or light, lighted, lighted, okay? It went well till here. Mayonnaise. This is another spelling. So you just have got spelling mistakes with mayonnaise and recipes. So make sure about them. Chicken rice. Then you wrote breast chicken. Yeah, that's fine. And the chocolate cake. What I wrote here, you wrote here something I didn't understand. They were bizarred. I go for ya Yara, stunned. They were amazed, stunned by the what? By the taste of the chocolate cake. All this paragraph you haven't personalized. Like there is no something that shows like the one that you are writing to is there. You got the point, right? So you should personalize here. Overall, and you wrote. I mean, like for me, I didn't give a mark. Yeah, I gave a mark, which is fine, but maybe more personalizing, more idiomatic expression, that would be great. And we have had many ya Yara. Then we come to who's this one? This is Rahaf. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Rahaf, this is a good email. I know maybe your scanning wasn't that good, but I could read it all. You wrote here, ya binti, congrats on winning the swimming contest. Then you need to add a full stop here. And after all, after all, I'll go for this one, ya Rahaf. After all, hard work pays off. Okay, so I need a full stop here. And after all, comma, hard work pays off. Anyways, you went well. I have no problem with this. Even this paragraph, ya shabab, if you read it together like that, that's a good one as well. Let me do it differently. Each one of us has assigned with a task, but I had decoration which consumed most of my time looking back and forth to different party centers in a mission to find any 80s theme decorations. Okay, you wrote here, ya binti, 18th birthday party. Okay, 80s, like sort of fun. You wanted to make it a sort of fun, like it does not suit the age or something. This is, I didn't understand. I didn't really understand. Let me tell you, personalizing, which is really good, ya binti, I was so happy from the end result. That's fine, but you need to explain for me what did you mean here, okay? You need to explain this to me. The other paragraph, it was really good. I have nothing here to comment on, but here they thought they did. Max showed up in Mario's whatever costume, thinking it was a fictional character. It went well, except here, when the music started, everyone sprinted to the dance floor, sprinted as a past. You came here to say the party did not just end, of course, there. Did not just end there. Instead of the comma here, ya binti, and I'll go for what? A dash, because comma means comma splice. My sister's parent, my sister's face lightened up with largest smile. Okay, that was good. That was good. You wrote here cut off. Yeah, the talk, when the talk is cut off, the talk is cut off, like what, interrupted. So cut off, it has to be what, double F. Apart from this, it was a good email, Ya Rahaf. Then Omar, dear Ali, congrats on winning the spelling bee. Omar, by the way, it's a good one. This one is a good one. Congrats on winning the spelling bee contest. But the problem, your problem, still the punctuation. We still have a problem with the punctuation, Ya Omar. But I'm sure you deserved it. Anyways, Ya Shabab, it's one word. I thought I'd drop you a line about the special occasion that took place a week ago. It went well. It was a party to celebrate my grandpa's 80th birthday. It is a party, not a ceremony. My family and I decided to throw a party, and I think, yeah, Sarah, everybody is aware now, throw a party. I will never go for hold a party. Hold a party is a bit formal, but I will never say no. It's a bit formal. Then here, yeah, Omar, then the celebration was going to be at the garden's house, at Grandpa's house, okay. To celebrate his party. Mike, please, Ya Muhammad Hazem. Mike, please, Ya Muhammad Hazem. What made it even better about this party is that it would be a surprise. For me, this is too much, okay? Simply you can say a surprise party and you don't have to write that much. In that case, Ya Omar, this paragraph is going to be what? Is going to be short. So you don't have to explain what is a surprise party is. You wrote here the celebration was going to be at Grandpa's house and managed to convince Grandpa to go on a fishing trip with my dad so he doesn't notice anything. I understand. That's how we managed to buy time. Buy time, that's a good expression, Yabni. It went well. Apart from here, Yabni, there was a comma splice, 2 complete sentences. Then delicious here, there was a sort of what, spelling, taban, I would never accept. You wrote here a sentence like, we quickly calmed him down and started playing his what, favorite music, and gave him the delicious cake and started dancing afterwards, okay? Maybe here you should have used some idioms, okay? We danced till we dropped, something like that. That would be even better. I have to go now. I have no problem, Ya Omar. Maybe your punctuation is a problem. I want you to use more idiomatic expressions. A paragraph like this one, Ya Omar, is a bit short, so you need to write more, okay? Then we have this one here. This is for Sarah. Sarah Hani. Okay. Sarah, the introduction went well, Ya Binti. I have no problem with it. I was over the moon when I got your email yesterday. Hope you and Nada had fun in Japan. Anyway, I can't wait to tell you about the party my family and I had been organizing for ages. That's good. Believe it or not, you have no problem with this except here. And I need to read this paragraph, by the way, because you have a problem here. Believe it or not, my grandmother's 100th birthday was last week. I know it's crazy. Eventually, we had to throw a huge party to celebrate it. After all is said and done, I don't think it's quite convenient here, Ya Sarah, but that's fine. We have finally agreed to have the party outdoors in a massive hall. What is that hall, Ya Binti? If it is outdoors, it's going to be a hall. You mean this hall, right? Because this hall, it's like a quantity of something that has been stolen. That's the whole, okay? So I don't think this is the right one. Or you can explain it to me now. What do you mean by this? If you are like throwing that party outdoors, so it's not in a hole is indoors. You went well here, Ya Binti. I have no problem with that, and even the conclusion was really good. Hope to see you soon, so I can, I better go for what? For a comma before show, so I can tell you more about what you missed. Till here, Yasara, no, it is good. Maybe Yasara, more interest is required. More interest, so try to create it in a way or another, okay? Type. Then let's go to this one. This one for, I don't know, but that's a late homework. A late homework, I don't know who. Jerboas have numerous physical features that enable. Physical features, that's what ya shabab, that's plural, so we'll go for what enable. They have long tails, these tails which help for, I mean, please try to care that much about what subject verb agreement, okay? Then keep their balance. Some Jerboas, I mean, it went well, I have no problem with that, but maybe, it's a good summary, by the way, it's a good summary, but my only comment here is that the variety of sentence structure, and I feel like almost most of your sentences started the same way, okay? Apart from this, it is a good email writing, I have no problem with that. Then who's this? Sama, sorry I haven't written for so long. I don't have to repeat myself, but I've been busy lately, okay? Anyways, it all started last week when we got our trip papers, okay? You finished it here, so you need to add a full stop here. To our surprise, it was to the art museum. The art teacher wanted us to, I mean, like what? You keep talking about it, okay? I will never say this is wrong, Yasama, but I need you to what? To create interest. I mean, it was normal. It was normal. It was bland, right? I mean, I didn't feel like any interest here. You went here to go for, however, when we reached to the museum, you cannot say reached to, and listen to this, all of you, ya shabab. Arrive at and arrive in. Arrive at small places, arrive in big places, and reach without a preposition. Reach without a preposition. Disappointment, there is a spelling here. I don't understand what that word is, so please tell me about it. Sama, you write well, you have no problem, but still you need to create interest. Shabab, you need to what? To show off. Show off the vocabulary that you have learned. Show off the idiom that you know, okay? For me, you need to work more on that. Then we have got Adham Faisal. It's a late homework. I'm sorry to say that, but it's a late homework. Adham, you missed only 1 point, and I can say that you missed only 1 point, which is fine. But here you went for Adham. Please take care of this one. Jerboas have several and various. Can you see any difference between several and various? No difference. For me, yabni, here, I'll call it what? I'll call it redundant. I'll call it redundant. We don't need it, okay? Physical features, ya Adham. Physical features that help, not helps, okay? Adham, your problem here is almost all your sentences are the same. Yani the beginning is the same. Please vary your sentence beginnings. Vary your sentence beginnings. And then you came to the last point and you wrote something I don't understand, ya Adham. Finally, which is fine, and then a comma, perfect. The loss of habitat, and is that a sentence? I'm just going to ask this one. Is it a sentence? Of course, no, ya Adham. This is fragment. This is fragment. Yani incomplete sentence. Yeah, but the loss of habitat is a real threat. My comment, ya Adham, is that please vary your sentence beginnings. حاول نستخدم النهارده. Today we're going to talk about it in detail. And please try to avoid writing incomplete sentences. Then we come to Sama, another email. That's a better email, ya Sama. That's a better email. Throw a party is here. You wrote here, you're welcome, ya Adham. The party was in our house. Mom divided all the work. Maybe the chores, divided the chores. You can say chores. Okay, but instead of divided, assigned is better, ya binti. Assigned is better. So make sure that you use it. Here you wrote, look at this one here. I wish you were there. You did love to help. I mean, two complete sentences, okay? What happens here? We call it what, يا بنتي? Run on. So you need to add like a punctuation, but it shouldn't be what, a comma. It's either a full stop, semicolon, or a dash. Dash is better. To cry from happiness. And if he said to cry out of happiness, that would be better, okay? Thank God. اللي يكتب لي thank God. Later on, God has to be what? Uppercase. God. Thank God, and then a complete sentence, exclamation mark, that would be fine. Then you wrote here, looking to see. طبعا looking forward to seeing you. You need to write more to perfectly develop your ideas. You need to write more, but this email is better. Then we come to Basmala. I don't have to see the name. This is Basmala's handwriting. Basmala, are you there, ya Basmala, today? Are you there or no? Say yes, please. I can see it here. Basmala, this handwriting, I mean, like what? You've started to get it. By the way, I have no problem if you're gonna what? If you're gonna go back to the emails you have taken before, to the papers and notes that we've studied before. This is how we learn, and this is how we learn how to develop our writing. Basmala wrote a very good email. She's being practical, condensed, focused, using a lot of idioms, using a lot of vocabulary. That's fine. Maybe if she could write more than that, that would be even better. She wrote, I hope you are in the pink of moods. I thought you would want to know how my sister Jana's birthday party went. Between here, ya binti, and I feel like a sort of a jump. There is no smooth, you know, like what, transition. You understand my point? But that's fine, okay? Each one of us helped in organizing this event. My cousin Maya cooked loads of mouth-watering food while I decorated the whole place with glitter and balloons. I asked my aunt Maria's help, okay? And then you wrote a comma. Of course, the comma here, ya binti, is not recommended at all. It's completely wrong. Dash is fine. She made her own version of her chocolate cake, and with every slice I ate, I thought how much you would have enjoyed it. This is interest. This is personalizing, okay, which is fine. I like it, yeah, Basmala. I like it a lot. Even this paragraph, it went well, ya binti. I have no problem. But you came here to say, in spite of that, I was happy. I need to add a comma here. I was happy and enjoyed myself to the max. You don't have to say thoroughly, even you wrote it in a wrong way, but to the max is better. Everyone enjoyed, and you said it was filled with games, and I'll go for what was full of games, okay? Yeah, you can do better. You can even do better, okay? Thank you. Then we come to Basant. وبسنت here, يا بنتي, it was great to get an email from you, but I couldn't write sooner because I was too busy last weekend with my family. Yes, you guessed it. It was my cousin's graduation party. Okay, that's perfect, okay? But yes, you guessed it. You need to add what? Exclamation mark. It was. For me, it's a very good introduction. So as you know, Malak just finished her medical studies with spectacular grades. I don't need the comma here. I don't need it. Since it's a long sentence, and I preferred if you added a full stop here, that would be great. Since she is first graduate of the family, and if you started with since, okay, that means it is a dependent clause. So you need a comma here, and then you write the independent clause, this one. We decided to hold a party for her. Throw a party, that's better than hold. Hold, it sounds very formal. This paragraph went well, ya binti, but I didn't feel a lot of interest has been created, okay? You're talking about what you've done, okay, without creating any interest. And I didn't feel like it is a good paragraph, but it has no mistakes. It has no mistakes, okay? Then you came here to say, as you know, Malak is a die-hard fan of her books, okay? She wrote here, maybe this part, starting from this part يا بنتي till here, that was really good. It was really good, really good, to be fair يا بسنت. Guess what? I got Malak the new book. Clap when you land. Yes, yes. It is by Elizabeth Acevedo. As you know, Malak is a die-hard fan of her books. I mean, for me, this one is really good. This part is really good, but the other part, it wasn't that good, okay? But it has no mistakes. Believe it or not, when you write believe it or not, either a dash followed believe it or not or exclamation mark better, okay? And then when you write an exclamation mark يا شباب يا بنات, it is a stop punctuation. Stop punctuation. What do I mean by stop punctuation? It should be followed by what? Uppercase, not a lowercase يا بنتي, okay? And then you wrote a full stop here. We all burst out laughing. So capital letter, please, is recommended even here. But it is a good email after all. Anas, would you please open your mic and tell me what is this? And I didn't put a mark here. I still don't know what the email is about, okay? Is it this email or no?
Also, it was the last homework, which from the last week.
Because, okay, so
yeah.
So can you?
I sent the one we needed for today.
Yeah.
Just from half an hour, something like that.
Okay. So this is what I don't understand. Look at this, yeah, Anas. If it is so, it is a very good email, another good email for the second week. Okay, you came here, but the introduction is very long. To tell you the truth, this is a long introduction. Yes, it's no mistakes, but it's a long introduction. You came here to say, let me congratulate on your highly achieved IELTS test results. You don't have to say apostrophe S, yani it's not needed. It's clear. And you wrote here, I did really want to tell you about my walk in the Egyptian National Museum. And look at this one, yeah Basmala, yeah Omar Nabil. I did really want to tell you. That's an emphatic expression. He's trying to emphasize, which is fine, okay? About my walk in the Egyptian National Museum. You wrote from a long time, and I'll go for a long time better, and then you need to add the comma before the fanboys. But I've been busy preparing for my exams. A long introduction, yes, no mistakes. Yes, you created interest. Yes, you used some good expressions and vocab, but still long. To be honest, I'm not that guy, but look at this one here. If you can write that much in the exam till here, I mean that's fine for me. Without the need to go to turn over a page. To be honest, I'm not that guy who devotes so much of his time searching on the internet. We cannot say on the internet. To know more about different ancients, but the comma before but, not after. But actually things didn't go the same way in the day I spent. You don't have to say I have spent, because it's completely history now, past, in the museum. It went well. You talked about, like what, the museums, you talked about the contents of the museums and the mummies and everything in a very good way. Our friend Khalid and I, you cannot say me here, both thought about picking specific historic items to read about before. I mean, this paragraph is really good, and I was really happy to read a paragraph like that. Then you talked here about, again, the museum was a huge house for myriad of mummies and tombs, which belonged to a well-known kings and queens. That's really good. You wrote here, I was over the moon for knowing that, to know. I was over the moon to know that. Knowing, but to know is even better on the second thought. I have no problem, Anas. It is a good email. Now I can simply and confidently give even this, okay? So that's good. Let's go. This is the last piece. Anybody has sent any product and I haven't marked it. Omar Nabil, I haven't received anything from you yet. Okay, طيب. Remember, يا شباب, this is our what? This is the email that was a homework, okay? This is the email that was a homework. And then this is what I have written. This is what I have written only yesterday, okay? Your family recently celebrated a special occasion. I'm just reminding you with the 3 bullet points. You're welcome. Say what your family was celebrating. Explain how you helped to organize the celebration. Describe what happened at the celebration. Basmala Saeed, I'm gonna send this email to you together with the correction, okay? Right. This is what I wrote. Dear Yara, أي خدمة يا يارا. Dear Yara, it was It was simply lovely to get your email this morning. It certainly was a breath of fresh air after the exhausting week I had. Hopefully, Ya Anas, you understand what do I mean by a short intro. Okay, you can write whatever you want in the body paragraphs. So what is the expression here, Ya Basmala Saeed? You can make use of Omar Walid, a breath of fresh air. It certainly was a breath of fresh air after the exhausting week I had. As you know, my overachieving sister Sama outdid herself again at her A levels. And when I say overachieving, like what? She's a very smart girl, you understand, and always like, you know, like passes with flying colors, with distinction. As you know, my overachieving sister Sama outdid herself again at her A levels. Okay, so we have got another expression here, overachieving. We have got outdid herself again at her A levels. تفوقت على نفسها. I honestly can't understand how she could get a brilliance award in mathematics. It's not exactly a walk in the park, a good expression. It's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. Okay? And I meant to use these idioms. Okay? So any situation that we're going to write about, there are idioms for. It wasn't or it isn't exactly a walk in the park. Anyway, everyone wanted to throw her a party. Throw a party, not hold. Throw her a party. And needless to say, you might ask yourself now, Mr. Ahmad always say, needless to say, Mr., is it formal or informal? I can use it in both registers. And needless to say, Ya Omar Ya Nabil, I don't have to say, Dad guilt tripped me into it. Please remember this expression. What does it mean, Dad guilt tripped me into it? It means like, Dad made me feel guilty. Why is that? In order to encourage me to do something. Okay? So I'm going to be the one who is in charge of what? The one in charge of that birthday party or that party. Okay? So Dad guilt tripped me into it. Then let us go to the other paragraph here. We decided on a simple celebration. Decided on, don't forget. We decided on a simple celebration. Mom asked me to get the perfect cake for the occasion. I was half tempted to order a vanilla sponge cake. I was half tempted. I was half tempted to order a vanilla sponge cake. يعني half tempted, it means what? I was reluctant. I was hesitant a bit. I was half tempted to order a vanilla sponge cake just to spite Sama. And look at this one. That's a very nice expression. It is not formal at all. Just to spite Sama. To tease maybe. أنا عايز أغيظها. خلاص كده. You know, this is what happens between what? Sisters. I was half tempted to order a vanilla sponge cake just to spite Sama, since she hates those more than she hates pink skirts. Okay, here I created interest. Here I personalized. Hopefully you understand. But being the good sister, I am the good sister. But being the good sister, see Adham, this is how I start. It doesn't have to be like what? Subject, verb, complement, subject, verb, complement. I mean like what? You need to change a bit. But being the good sister, I got her favorite. What's her favorite cake? Red velvet. I couldn't resist covering it in pink sprinkles though. Okay, in order to tease her. In order to what? To tease her. To get on her nerves. عشان أعصبها شوية. I couldn't resist covering it in pink sprinkles though. Hey, don't judge me. Personalizing. Okay? When you keep talking directly to the one that you're writing to your friend, that's personalizing. Hey, don't judge me. Or you can say, somebody else will say, don't judge me wrong. Allahu Azam. It can be a family event unless there is a bit of a spat between Sama and me. A bit of a spat, like give and take. You understand what I mean? Like sort of, this kind of teasing. You got the point, right? It can be a family event unless there is a bit of a spat between Sama and me. Then, the last paragraph to cover the last point. She didn't mind it much to my liking, as she was busy bragging how easy the exam was. She didn't mind it much. She didn't mind that cake much, okay? She didn't mind the sprinkles, the pink sprinkles much on the cake. She didn't mind it much to my liking, as she was busy bragging. And you need to write here bragging, like showing off. Showing off how easy the exam was and how calculus is meant for KG kids. Sama's joy was palpable. What does mean palpable? Like strong, great. And I was honestly proud of her. At the end of the day, she's my sister, so I'm proud of her. After a whooping 3 hours of non-stop praise, after a whooping 3 hours, like this kind of talk, joy, fun of 3 hours of non-stop praise and loud chatter, like talk, I finally retreated to my room. I went to my room. Fixing everyone's drinks was strenuous, was not an easy task. Strenuous, like what? Not an easy task, I can tell you. And then at the end, do reply sometime. I feel like we haven't been talking much these days. Love, Basmala. Okay, this is the email, same email, and I'm gonna send it right after the class. Okay.